Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey. So I had this ball beside my bed, and I had it here because I was using it to sew together some granny squares, and this yarn is not very popular. Oh, I did find an end. And I figured I'm probably going to have to just rewind this one because of this giant mess that was left for me here. I just lost the end. Oops. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to just roll this up nice and easy, and then we will start looking at sewing up some granny squares. Glad you're here today. Sorry, my hand is in the way and I'm being awkward. Yay, it's me! Alright, I think my leg's in here today. Oh well. We're just going to start rolling up this yarn so I can actually use it for sewing up my granny squares for this chair, which is what I wanted to work on today because I haven't had time to do it for the last little bit. Been rather busy. And now I have to detangle some yarn before I can do this. So I thought it'd be a good time to hang out and chat and see what's up. Alright, getting this going. Now I'm going to have to pull this through here and around. And then we're going to have to go through here like this. Fantastic. Because we are stuck somewhere in here. It's just not pulling anymore, so we need to go backtrack and find out where we're stuck. Right there. Okay, pull it all apart a bit more. Kind of get that piece there. Here we are. Nice little investigating here to get this untangled. Now we're getting stuck through here, so we're just going to pull you through. And we're going to do that right there. Up and over. And no, there's nothing wrong with this yarn. It's just a different color, and it just kind of is very pale. And I have used it on fish and all sorts of other projects. I just have a whole bunch of it, like so much. Big balls of it. I don't even want to talk about how big those, big ones. I'm not sure what got taken apart or where it even came from. Or if it was a donation to me from somebody else who was like, I have this, but I don't want it. Alrighty, so we're just going to continue. As you can tell, I did a little bit off camera. That's okay. It is pretty, like don't get me wrong, the pastels are very pretty. This is a classic yarn. I mean, I've grown up my whole life knowing this particular colorway. Not that I know a lot of things that were made with it, I just know that this has been around. So this might have been like something that's been passed down in my family. I don't even remember where this yarn came from, but I have a lot of it, that is for sure. I've got quite a bit. Considering maybe I should just make it into some sort of like spring blanket or something. Not to wear, just to throw on. I don't know, maybe. It is something to think about anyways. If you happen to hear any clicking noises or anything beside me, I have somebody over there playing with magnet toys, so they're snapping together here and there. That's okay. That's okay. She's having a very good time playing with them. There we go. getting it together. Alright, now you see I'm just pulling this as loose as possible. I'm trying not to pull these kind of things really tight, because when you do that, that's where you end up with big knots. If you just keep pulling, if you're finding resistance, you should just stop pulling in that spot and try to spread it with your fingers. Just spread as much as you can. I find that really helps with detangling. And I've got to get to rolling up my mom's beautiful silk she just picked up. I think we have decided that she's going to use some of my Hobbii cotton to complement it, because I happen to have a purple that goes into a darker purple to a couple different shades of gray, and it's really, really pretty. So we've been coming up with ideas of what to do for something light and airy and easy to throw on, and just make basically sort of a summery cover, that kind of thing. So that's nice, a nice thing to think about. Told her this is her chance. She could just pull out a pattern for like a nice tablecloth for the panels, and the silk can be for a fancy collar. So then you have two panels, front and back, that match, that have a wild design and a very fine cotton, and then you have a complementary silk collar for the top to put the pieces together. Now we can decide later on if we want to sew it on the sides or just leave it wide open to be just something you throw on over your head. So just getting ideas on it. But the colors matched up really nicely, so now I'm like, oh dear. I think that one was called the Witches something, the purple one. I don't know the they don't keep their names on their yarn, and when they take them off the website, it's almost impossible to figure it out unless somebody has mentioned it somewhere else, which I'm not sure. And I'm just kind of, my hands are full. I don't really have the time to look right now. I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to finish. My middle daughter has a list about 3 miles long of things she would like me to make for her, her friends, her school friends, her teachers, all sorts of people. I've already got 3 different requests for another sweater, just like the one I just finished. I mean, I don't blame them. It's a really cute sweater, but one of them is my youngest daughter, and then a couple of her classmates want some. One wants blue and teal and all these other colors that I don't actually have a lot of. So that's kind of a problem. Not the end of the world, but it is kind of a problem. All right, we're getting to the end here. Getting a little tiny ball that I decided to use because it's a scrap ball, and I have like 4 other ones that are way triple, quadruple the size of this. The ones that weigh like 3 pounds when you go to pick it up. That's how you know there's a lot of yarn in there. Alright, we are almost done. Got the vibe check going. So we're finishing this up. Now I get to start sewing these together again. This is my bag of granny squares needed for my project for covering a chair. I can see right in there. Oh, that is a lot of granny squares. What do you think? I think I got a few to choose from. Just a couple. Anyways, be just a quick moment. Okay, so this is me sewing them together. And now that I'm coming back to this a couple weeks later, I'm not sure what I feel. I'm really confused here. Let me see here. Where's my 4? Just had it. 4. Just such a hot mess around here. So this is fairly thin, so maybe this would actually be better with a 3.5. I'm going to grab my 3.5 because that might be why the other one didn't work out as well. So we are going to try this. I'm going to like 3.5. And I'm going to take another look at the joint as you go. So we're going to take these 2 wild beasts, and we're just going to go down here. Boy, that is a little louder than I was looking for. So we just go boom. And we'll just do a little here. And then we just go down this way. Okay. So I'm wondering if, because I didn't really use this, if this would work as a background. Adjoining. Okay, so we're going to quickly go through this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oops. 2. I tried this before with a really thick yarn and it wasn't working. So I'm going to try this and see if maybe this was the trick. Okay. 1 and 2. And no, this is not exactly how to do it, but this is just going to give me an idea, join to join, what it might possibly start to look like, if it's even worth using this yarn for this. So then it's supposed to go over here, do a slip stitch, and then we go back over here to get 3. 1, 2, and 3. A slip stitch over here. And again, that is a slip stitch over here. And then set of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Do one of these, another slip stitch, 3 more. Well, that's way too pulled. Why is that so pulled? That seems kind of weird. One, 2, and 3. Slip stitch. One, 2, and 3. A slip stitch. Now this is not supposed to be how you join them, but this will do for now. Because I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. 1, 2, and we're just going to slip stitch over here for now. Okay. So now I'm left with a bit of a conundrum. Which way is going to be better for this project? Oof. I I do kind of like this little bit between, but I don't know if I like it so light. I like this, but at the same time I don't like it. I think it looks a little bit less than it could be, probably because of two different types of yarn. So maybe my best bet is this way. This is very tough. Very, very tough. Anybody got any opinions on this? I would gladly take your opinion, and definitely would love some feedback on this. I'm not sure which way to go. At first I thought I was going to do this, and then I said no because the white I had picked was too thick, but now this is working out really nicely. I can see that working really well between all these different random colors. And then this would just be granny squares. Anyway, I would love to know what everybody thinks. I will probably turn this into a poll on my Facebook and on my YouTube here, and we will find out from there. So anyways, thanks for joining me here today, and I'm going to go be indecisive for the rest of the day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.